present in the cardiac region, while another orifice is present in the pyrolic or the pyrolus region. The upper part of the stomach is known as the fundic region. When our stomach is full, then the food reaches, then we say that the food has filled up to the region fundic region. So fundic region is the upper portion or the upper region of the stomach. So this is the stomach. Now there are various glands which are present in stomach, which secrete various enzymes which helps in digestion. So we are now going to study about these glands. So as we are seeing here, that here is our stomach. There in the previous section we have read about the histology, means there are various layers, 4 major layer actually, serosa, muscularis, or some mucosa and mucosa. Here are the various layers which actually forming the or responsible for the thickness of the stomach. So the last layer or the layer which is in contact with the food is known as the mucosa layer. We have seen now that the last layer is known as the mucosa layer, which is in contact with the food. So I am drawing here the last one, mucosa layer. So this is the mucosa layer, and in mucosa we have studied that there are three basic layer, which is known as the mucosa muscularis, mucosa muscularis, inner one which is contact with the submucosa, and after submucosa it is the lamina propria, and the inner one is the mucosa epithelium. So it is the mucosa epithelium. Now this mucosa epithelium is composed of many cells. So here this epithelium is modified to secrete some secretion. Are you getting that? These epithelium, these are actually the simple columnar cell, which are secretory in nature. So here is the simple columnar cell which secretes some secretion, and these are in the form of simple tubular gland. So the gland of the stomach suppose it is our stomach, and here is the epithelium. So this epithelium is actually modified into a shape of the simple tubular gland. So the type of the gland, there are various types of gland, tubular, areolar. So it is simple branch tubular actually. Simple branch tubular gland are present in stomach. So here are the simple branch tubular gland, and here is the simple columnar epithelial cells which form these gland. means it is the inner part, it is the mucosa, and in mucosa it is in mucosa we have seen three layers, mucosa muscularis or lamina propria and mucosal epithelium. So it is the inner one, mucosal epithelium, which is present in the form of the simple tubular gland, and here it is composed of the simple columnar epithelium, and now it secrete various secretion. Here are the simple columnar epithelial cell, but these are of different types. So now we are going to see the types of these cells which forms these glands. First type of cell is the mucous neck cell, mucosa, or the goblet cell. Mucosa goblet means cup shape. So here it is the cup shape mucous neck cell which secrete, obviously it is obvious through the name that it is going to secrete, these type of cells going to secrete mucus. So this mucosa or the mucous neck cell is going to secrete the mucus. Second type of cell which are found in these are parietal. Parietal is used for the wall. Okay, parietal or the oxyantic cell. Parietal or the oxyantic cell. These cells secrete what? These cells secrete HCl and some Caster's intrinsic factor. Caster's intrinsic factor. This HCl actually provide a medium. It performs various function. First, it provide a medium for other enzyme to function. Because of HCl, the pH of stomach is acidic, means 1.8 something. So it provide the acidic medium, because of which other enzyme are going to function, because that acidic medium is optimum for those enzymes. So firstly it is providing providing pH. Second function is it, as we are seeing here, that HCl is actually an acid. It is going to release anion. So it is going to reduce something, because it is a reducing agent here. It is going to release its anion, which, and addition of anion to something means reduction. So actually it is going to reduce Fe3 positive ion to Fe2 positive ion. It is ferric ion and it is ferrous ion. So it converts ferric ion into ferrous ion, and ferrous is the ferrous. Because of this, it is possible to absorb iron into the body. So we have seen here two function. It provides the acidic pH. It also acts as the pH also act as a killing agent, or we can say it protect the stomach from the entry of any bacteria or pathogen, because acidic pH is not favorable for other enzyme or other pathogens. So it actually it is actually protecting. Second, it is providing the optimum pH for the other enzyme to function, and third one is it is converting the ferric ion into the ferrous ion. Now this Kester's intrinsic factor, these Kester's intrinsic factor are responsible for the absorption of vitamin B12, which is also known as the cyanocobalamin. So it is actually responsible for the absorption of vitamin B12 in the body. Here are the function of the parietal cells or the secretions of the parietal cell. Third type of cells which is found in these inner mucosal epithelium is the peptic or chief cell. Obvious from the name that peptic is going to digest the protein, so it actually secrete some enzyme. These are the pepsinogen, prorenin, and some lysozyme, and these are in the inactive form. So it secrete pepsinogen further going to convert into pepsin. These are the inactive form. So when these enzymes are secreted by these peptic cells or the chief cells, after their secretion into the stomach cavity, they comes in contact with the acidic pH, and these enzymes became active, because this acidic pH is favorable for their activities. So these enzyme pepsinogen, which are actually in inactive form initially, will going to convert into the active form. Pepsinogen is going to convert into the pepsin, and it further digests the protein. Prorenin also digests the milk protein, and lysozyme actually are not very functional into this stomach, because the pH is not favorable firstly, and there is very minute quantity of the lysozyme into the stomach. So these are the function of the secretion of the peptic or chief cell. Another type of the cell which are seen are the enteroendocrine cell. These enteroendocrine cell are found in these type of cell. So this enteroendocrine, obvious from the name, entero means enteric, endocrine means these are endocrine. Another name for this is the argentefin cell. Argentefin or the enteroendocrine cell. Argentefin cell are actually found at the base, and these are spiny or spiny kind of shape, and the name argentefin is for their staining with the silver salt. Staining with silver salt. So the name argentefin is for this. These are actually found at the base of the basal part of the gastric gland, and they are differentiated into three types. Means initially they are endocrine, enteroendocrine, but they got differentiated into various types. What are these? D cell, enterochromaffin, and the last one is the G cell. So these enteroendocrine or the argentefin cell got further. These argentefin cell are divided into D cell, enterochromaffin-like cell, G cell. D cell secrete a hormone. These are argentefin cell are totally hormone secreting cells. They got differentiated into D cell, enterochromaffin-like cell, and G cell. Enterochromaffin-like cell secrete two hormones. One is serotonin and another one is histamine. Serotonin is a vasoconstrictor. Constrictor means it constricts the blood vessels so that the pressure of the blood in the vessel got increased. Histamine, on the other hand, is a vasodilator. It dilates the blood vessel or lower the blood pressure. Another cell is D cell. D cell stops secretion of the gastric hormones. D cells secrete a hormone known as the somatostatin. From the name, it is obvious that statin means static, means it stops or it stops the secretion of the gastric hormone. Another one is the G cell. G cell secrete hormone gastrin. Gastrin actually stimulate the secretion of the gastric juice secretion. These are our stomach cells. After stomach, there is a small intestine, which is also the part of alimentary canal. As we have seen in this section, that stomach, last part of stomach is the pylorus part, and this pylorus part opens into the small intestine through the sphincter known as the pyloric sphincter. So through this pyloric sphincter, the food enters into the small intestine. Intestine is majorly divided into three parts. First is the duodenum, jejunum, third one is ileum. Intestine, we are talking about the small intestine. Small names come from because of the width of the intestine. Small intestine have narrow width, while the large intestine have a wider width. So this is known as small intestine. Although it is greater or it is longer than that of the large intestine, but because of its width, it is known as the small intestine. The duodenum part is the shortest part, while which is actually 25 centimeter. Jejunum part is 1 meter and ileum part is 2 meter. Ileum part is the longest portion of the small intestine. Duodenum is a smallest part, shortest part, and is the widest part. The stomach open into this duodenum part. Means suppose this is our stomach. Suppose this is our stomach. This portion is the duodenum part. This portion. And then this duodenum part is preceded by the jejunum and ileum part. Okay. Now this whole intestine, small intestine, as it performs the function of absorption, its major function is so for that function, for performing the function of absorption, it have several modification. So what are these modification? First, greater length of intestine, means the length of the intestine, small intestine, is very large, so that the maximum absorption can take place. Second one, it have villi. What are villi? Villi are small finger like structure. These are very small, so these villi increase the surface area so that maximum absorption can take place. Third one is the microvilli. Microvilli perform the same function. Microvilli are present above the villi. And the fourth one is the plica circularis, valvulae, connivens, or valves of so what are all these? These are folds. So these are some permanent deep folds: plica circularis, valvulae, connivens, or the valves of Kerkering. These are same. So what are the function of these four? They increase the surface area so that maximum absorption can take place in a small intestine. Okay. In a small intestine, these modification are present. So these are present in the inner layer, that is the mucosal epithelium layer. Suppose it is the cross section of intestine. These are villi, and above villi these are microvilli. So what is this? This is the inner layer. What is this? We have studied already in the histology portion that inner layer of the mucosal layer is the mucosal epithelium. So this mucosal epithelium is modified into finger like projection, which are known as the villi, and above these villi these are microvilli. So these villi, between these villi there is a slit like structure, and this structure is known as crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts is for something secretive, which is secret, hidden. So these are present in between the villi, and is like some secret substance which is present in between the villi. So it is known as the crypts of Lieberkühn. Crypts of Lieberkühn are generally secretory in function, and these crypts of Lieberkühn are made up of several types of cell. We are going to see what are those cells. So we are writing here crypts of crypts of Lieberkühn, and also these are also known as the intestinal gland. Okay. Crypts of Lieberkühn or intestinal gland. So these are composed of several cells. First cell is the obviously the mucosal cell. Also known as goblet cell, obvious from the name that it is going to secrete the mucus. So first crypts of Lieberkühn cell is mucosal cell. Second type of cell which compose this whole crypts of Lieberkühn is the Paneth cell. Paneth cell generally secrete the enzymatic part of the intestine. So third one is same as we have studied in the case of a stomach, that is the argentephine. Argentephine cell, or these are known as the enteroendocrine cell. These argentephine cell are going to secrete hormone, means these are performing same function as they are doing in the stomach, so it is same. And fourth one is the basal cell. Basal cell function is production of another cell, means these basal cell got modified into other different cell and form the whole crypt of Lieberkühn. So these are the intestinal gland which is known as the crypts of Lieberkühn, composed of approximately 4 type of the cell. These are the goblet cell, argentephine cell, and basal cell or Paneth cell. Argentephine cell further modified into the enterochromaffin cell, and the enterochromaffin cell is going to secrete the hormone, that is the serotonin or histamine. So these are the cells. We have already studied about the something unique which is found in different part of the alimentary canal. We have seen already that there is an oblique muscle layer which is found in a stomach. So there are several specific cells or several specific gland which are found in the intestine. And what are those specific things are? First, it is the Brunner's gland. Brunner's gland. So what is this Brunner gland? This Brunner gland is found in the, this is the part of the small intestine, and we are seeing here the mucosal epithelium, the innermost layer, and outer to this mucosal layer there is submucosal layer. Suppose this is the submucosal part, submucosa. So in this submucosal part there is a gland which is multicellular. There is a gland which is multicellular and circular, and it secrete alkaline medium, something basic in nature. It do not secrete any hormone, it only secrete water, secrete H2O and alkaline substance. Means this gland is responsible for increasing the pH of intestine, means it helps in converting the acidic. We have already seen that the medium of the stomach was acidic in nature, because there were some enzyme which need that acidic medium to perform their activities. Now as this food is passed down into the intestine, so there are several other enzymes which are secreted by this Paneth cell, and they require some basic medium. So this Brunner gland is responsible for secreting this alkaline substance, and this alkaline substance is helping the intestine to increasing its pH, means for basic pH. So this Brunner gland is necessary for our body for digestion, and it is found in the submucosal part. It is very necessary to remember this, that this is found in the submucosal part or layer found in. So this is all about this Brunner gland. Now there is another unique thing which is found in the intestine. It is the Pierce patches. Pierce patches. What are these Pierce patches? These are known as the tonsils of the intestine. Another name for Pierce patches is the tonsil of intestine. Pierce patches are why these are known as the tonsils of intestine? Because these are the lymphoid organ. These are lymphoid structure which is present in the intestine, and these are generally collective in the ileum region. Collected in ileum region means these are found in the ileum part of the small intestine, which is the largest. So if we are dissecting, suppose we are dissecting any small intestine and we want to see the Pierce patches, we only get Pierce patches in the ileum region of the small intestine. Remember this, it is something like unique or something special which is present only in the ileum region of the intestine. So tonsils of the intestine, why known as the tonsils of intestine? Because these are lymphoid structures. That's it. It is all about the, and something more, that is, we have seen that Brunner gland are the part of submucosal layer, but Pierce patches are found in the mucosal part. These are present something like here. These are present in mucosal part, but they are extended into the submucosal part. So we say that it is present in the mucosal part,